WWE Unreal. You've seen the trailer and the promotions for the
I hate it.
Netflix. I knew you would
I hate
hate
it.
it, but I'm fascinated by this. Um,
I hate it.
they're gonna go to behind the scenes and show you what they really go through with the planning and the production and the injuries and all that. I think it's important to understand that for the most part, WWE does this type of things for people who don't watch regularly. So what their business model hope is, someone who doesn't really watch wrestling, they stumble upon this in wrestling. And it's like, oh shit, that's how it really works. Oh shit, they really do gotta get surgery, or sometimes it'll help the people not familiar respect the craft a little more. So I appreciate things like this, and I'm very fascinated to see how they produce this and piece this together, because let's be honest, like, we're in a time where every everything, even outside of wrestling, is showing you behind the scenes details more and more. And I just think that's the type of the content. I mean, traditionally, no, it would go against everything wrestling stood for, but the business has evolved. The internet is what it is, and I think this is the content that people want to see. And I just can't wait to see how they put this together. And we see Cena's in there, The Rock's in there. I think it's cool that we see some of the bigger stars incorporated in this.
See, I hate it, but I can't sit here and say I didn't see it coming because if you listen to a lot of Rock's press conferences, he was already doing it anyway.
Yeah,
It was a part
I
of the
think I
board.
think
He's
he
like,
was
oh,
planting the seeds for it on purpose.
think he was. I think he was. I think he was because he was already on that stage saying, "Yo, this is a work, and people shouldn't be taking this so seriously." And when he did that, man, that it hurt my feelings, David, man, because you're from the old school. You know, I thought you was here to bring some of the old school elements back to the climate today, but he's just giving into it because of the greenbacks, man, because of the green dollars. You know, this is a it's like you said, Dave. This can help reach out to people who aren't really day to day with wrestling anyway. You know, they just got a little bit of a feel for it. But I also think this is a big fu to people like us, right? Because now you're not even trying to keep the allure anymore. You're just throwing it all out the window. You know, that's basically what they're doing right now. They're not even trying to create the imagination in our head like, yo, is this for real? Did he really snuff him in his nose like that? Or did he know that was coming? Or did he really plan to throw him that certain type of way? Or you just took all of that out of the building, Dave. And last time I checked, that's what wrestling is.
Yeah,
So now we gotta create a new definition to this. We can't even call
yeah.
this wrestling no.
I get where you're coming from, because you're coming from a you're coming from a traditionalist historic perspective, and I get why. But let's be honest, when we talking about wrestling, I mean, talking about general people like us, like, it's not like it's not like our conversations we're keeping kayfabe amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about dissecting the real business decisions and the storylines and the
Yeah,
things that go into it anyway. Like, it's not like we're walking around like, oh man, let's keep kayfabe. When Cena turned heel, he's really a bad person now. Like we're kind of already
yeah,
in a climate in the professional wrestling world where we're dissecting the business and the behind the scenes. So, which is why it doesn't bother me as much. Now, if this was like the 2000s and we everything wasn't already exposed and it wasn't too late, I would feel a little differently. But it's been too late. Like, one could argue, I mean, everybody has different
but that's
opinions. Everybody has different opinions on this, but one could argue that kayfabe was exposed when Vince McMahon, when we transferred to the Attitude Era, Vince McMahon came directly on the screen. But let me say what Vince came on the screen and said. No longer are we gonna put together stories and characters that insult your intelligence, that are just strictly good guys and strictly bad guys. We're gonna give you more shades of gray, more things rooted in attitude and realism. That's him coming and telling you that they manufacture these stories and scripts and
Yeah,
characters. So
yeah,
I get it from the traditional standpoint, but he kind of just told us they're right there. Don't get me wrong, the Rocket is taking it to another level with what he's done, but I
my
mean,
problem.
we know what this is. We come on shows like this and we talk about the business because we know the grind and we respect what goes into it, and we're dissecting the storylines and what we see, but none of us are, I think we're all aware, like, yo, no, I think even the youngest folk are aware, like, yo, this is a show, like, at this point it's too,
Why are they aware?
because of
Why
so
are they aware?
because of so much, the internet, uh, freaking
Yeah,
how The Rock is going about it. What I just mentioned with Vince
that's what
McMahon,
I'm
it's
saying.
everything over
Dave,
time.
no, Dave, they are aware because of all because lately they've been doubling down on it. That's really why everybody's aware because like the last 10 years they've been doubling down on pulling back that curtain. That's really what's really going on here.
Because there's
You
money
know,
in
so
that.
that's why. Yeah, but Dave, this is what I'm saying. I thought The Rock coming back and being part of the board, he would at least try to bring things back to that attitude type of time where,
But
yeah, we know they're not being real.
how do you do that realistically? How do you do that when everybody's so much more informed? How do you
You
do that?
stop talking so much.
But even if you
Let's stop
but
talking so
even
much.
if you do
Let's
that,
stop giving people
but
oh
even
play
if you
by play.
but even if you do that, people are still aware of what this is. We know what this
It's not
is.
true.
Yes, we are. Yes, it
It's not
is
true.
true.
Dave, we know what it is from a character standpoint. Like we know if somebody's playing a racist, they're not really racist.
We know
That's what we know.
we
Like
know
character
ultimately we
standpoint.
know
To get
ultimately these
people
are
to
stories.
move the sun, Dave,
What you say?
you see what I'm saying? I'm saying we know what the art form is from a character standpoint. Like if people are playing something or portraying something, but to pull back the curtain and now let's show people how the hits are done, how the moves are
That's not
done,
what they're
how the how
doing.
the
That's not what they're
that's
doing,
what they're
bro.
doing.
That's
I
not
seen
what
the
they're
trailer, Dave. I
that's
seen
not
the
what they're
trailer.
doing.
Cody's talking about, oh, I'm not really concussed, but
That's not
I feel good
that's
still.
not what they're
Come on,
doing.
don't do that.
That's not what they're doing. And that's what the internet wants you to think. Let's be honest. You really think
That's what he said in the
first
trailer.
of all, WWE is a very calculated business, and I think we never give them enough credit for how calculated and intelligent they are and the people that work there. You really think WWE's gonna show us everything? You think they're really gonna show us how The Rock and Ari Emanuel and Triple H really talk in their meetings? They're not gonna show us all the real thing. They're gonna give people just a taste and a peek behind the curtain like they always do. But the trailer,
No, I'm not talking
you
about them. I'm talking about the performance, Dave.
and I saw nothing.
The performance.
I know what you're talking about, but I saw nothing in the trailer that indicated they're gonna be like, this is how we protect you in a DDT. This is how we hit you with a chair and protect you. No, it didn't come.
No, that's not
It
what
did not do nothing
Dave.
like that. It was
Dave,
like, yo, this is
Cody
a production. There was even elements that what I do like about it, it shows you how real it could be. People think Bianca Belair's braid hit is fake. They showed you that it was actually a real hit that left a
that's
real
the
mark.
problem, though, Dave. That's the problem right
How
there, though, Dave.
how's that a problem? They showed you it was real.
Because let's keep the mystery. Let's keep the mystery of it.
Do you hear what
Is
you're
it
saying?
rigged? Is it fake? Is it real? Is it? Let's
But
keep people
if I've
chatting.
never,
Let's
but
not
if
give them the answer.
but why wouldn't you want people who look? Why wouldn't you want people? The general person that doesn't watch wrestling tends to think they don't really get bumps and bruises. Why wouldn't you want to show them that they really do?
David, people been saying that forever, dog. They've been saying that forever.
But what's
Oh, it's
wrong with?
fake. It's not really
But
real.
what's wrong with?
Because
But you
of
but you're not answering. What's wrong with showing that they really get hurt? What's wrong with that?
because I think the mystery of keeping that
You want the
speculation
mystery,
going.
so you want a mystery of that. You want people to walk around thinking they never get hurt.
No, I want people to keep watching, hoping that the speculation and the mystery is enough to draw your interest.
But there's an
You see
element
what
that
I'm saying?
I get what you mean, but I get what you mean, but I think seeing that, oh shit, that they do get hurt and this isn't completely an act, it gains respect. It gains legitimacy. Like we all know it's a show, but it gains respect. Like that
I don't
and
know about.
it does. Maybe not for you, but for a lot of other people,
So
it does.
but that means if it gains respect, then that means the amount of people who are actually tuning in week to week to week, they should be shattering attitude error numbers then. If it's gaining so much respect,
No, I didn't say
if you pull back the curtain, you know what I mean, and you think that's what's gonna help your
I didn't
sales,
say I
you're
didn't
not better.
say I
You're not
would
better seeing crazy sales after.
I didn't say pulling back the curtain automatically drives your content to be the best ever. I think pulling back the curtain, we're seeing it, bro. Every other form of entertainment gets to pull back the curtain and nobody cares. Why is that? We're NBA players literally tell us what
We're
happens
not
in
supposed
their
to join
locker
that, Dave.
rooms, their
That's terrible.
home.
We're not supposed to join that. We're not supposed to join that.
I'm just
This is
saying,
wrestling.
bro.
We're supposed to stay true to what we are.
Bro,
We're not supposed to
every
join
form
them.
but every form of entertainment does it. Every form. Rap is doing it.
I agree with
Hell,
you.
rap is doing
I
it.
agree with
And
you
would
that.
you not agree that rap is similar to WWE in the sense that you're supposed to keep a
And that's
little
why rap is the worst it's ever been,
you're
Dave.
supposed to
That's
keep a
why
little
rap is the worst
mystique?
it's ever been.
Uh,
But
like
that's why
rap,
rap is the
rap is
worst it's
telling
ever
us
been.
everything now.
But Dave, that's why rap landscape is the worst it's ever been. This is exactly why. It's because we already know everything they say, bullshit. Everything they do, bullshit. Everything they walk around and wear, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like wrestling's not supposed to join that. This is what makes wrestling the most unique sport form ever. We're supposed to stay true to what we do and not break it. That's really what that's really what got me into wrestling in the first fucking place. It's like, yo, what the hell's going on my screen? Is this for real? Is it not for real? I got to keep watching to see where this is going. That's how it got me in. I don't know why people were trying to pull a 180 or 360 and switch it to something else. All I'm saying is I respect it. Call it something else. Don't call it wrestling no more.
What are
Can
you
we at least agree to that,
what are you
Dave?
gonna call it?
Let's come up with some new term for it. Because it's not wrestling.
It's
It's
wrestling,
not
man.
wrestling.
It's
It's
wrestling.
not wrestling,
It's
man.
just evolved.
Let's just stick to sports entertainment like Vince always wanted to do.
It is
You know,
sports entertainment. There's no
I
question
know.
about that.
I'm saying let's throw the whole wrestling part in the trash.
Why? There's
That's
still
what
there's
they're doing.
still there's still the art the actions that they
Wrestling.
take is still professionally wrestling. They still have to do the actions of wrestlers. Like
Yeah, but if I'm me, the fan is knowing what you're doing. It's not wrestling. That's not wrestling,
bro, well, they're not gonna tell everything. Let's be fair.
bro.
We know they're not
Listen,
gonna tell
Dave,
everything.
I swear to God, I seen in the trailer that time when Kevin Owens did what he did to Cody. This dude's in the back on the camera talking about, yo, I'm not really concussed. I'm not really. injured like that. This and that.
Bro,
Come on, Dave.
we saw a
On,
trailer,
fool,
bro.
man.
A trailer. A trailer.
That's even that's too far, Dave.
A
That's too
trailer.
far.
But you don't know what he could have been saying it in the context of, bro, this is how I know it's a you thing. He could have been saying it for all we know. He could have been saying it in the context of maybe something is wrong with them, but he's lying and he doesn't want the WWE to know how hurt he is. And he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't have a concussion. We don't know what a context is through a trailer. What the hell? And we don't know the
Recording that,
context he
Dave?
was saying that.
Should they even be recording that part?
Yeah. Yo, this is
You like that they
bro,
recorded that part
bro,
and put it on here?
bro,
Like,
personally, what fascinates me at my age of 30, knowing so much about wrestling, I am fascinated by how much of the grind really goes into this. How much of these creative people have influence? How much of the what are these wrestlers really going through? To me, I get fascinated by that. Well, I don't want what I'm supposed to expect. I'm still supposed to walk around expecting them to pretend to be not human beings. Like what am I supposed to do, bro? It
absolutely,
fascinates me.
absolutely, 110%,
That doesn't make sense to me, bro.
110%.
That's the most Mark
It makes
mindset
sense
to
to me.
me in 2025, honestly, bro. So you want so
No way.
it's a Mark mindset, bro. So let me get this straight. We in our heart of hearts know that
What made Undertaker get so much respect?
that was the time. He grew up in a time where it was possible. It's a different time.
I don't want to hear that. In our time too, Dave, and he still did it.
Right. Undertaker's
So what makes him?
one.
That's what I'm saying. That's what makes him like that.
Bro, how does it? So you're telling me? Hold on. You're telling me who's somebody I could take for an example? Who's somebody that has very strong character traits? Let's just for the hell of it. Let's take it. He's not that relevant, but he's around. Let's take Uncle Howley, Bo Wyatt for example. You're telling me that you, even though you, Sammy, me, David, know he's playing a character, you want him. Let's say if he was a big enough star to where he got to play in Chucky and horror movies, for example, and get interviews. You're telling me, despite the fact that we know all of this is a show, you would feel more invested in him just if he's pretending to be a scary guy all the time? To me, that makes it
100%.
corny. That's corny to me.
You
bro.
do exactly what the fuck Undertaker did. You turn shit down. You don't make no extra things. You protect that character to your death. Yes. That's how we were introduced to this. How are we just gonna abandon that ship?
Because
we're abandoning that ship.
Because things evolve. It's evolved, bro.
Well, guess what? This is exactly why the characters now ain't as strong. It's just what it is.
It's definitely a part
That's
of it.
why they're not as strong.
It's definitely it's definitely a part
this
of
thing
it.
It used to be taken as a badge of honor to protect your character. Like that was the badge. Like you wore it like a cop. Like, nah, bro. When you see me outside of this place, or I'm not gonna take it at all.
It's not mentally healthy to if they've also proven the Vince McMahon, it's not mentally healthy, bro. It's not mentally healthy, dog. It's not mentally healthy. Bro, Vince
so why
McMahon,
are you in the profession?
Vince McMahon has proven that it's not mentally healthy, bro.
How? In what way? How?
It's not mental. Bro.
How?
Do you know how many wrestlers who have literally gotten mental problems because they couldn't turn off thinking who they weren't really that wrestler? I'm sure you know there's plenty of those, bro. Some people can't snap out of it, bro.
If you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen.
A lot of niggas have died from that shit.
David, the greatest character.
Why don't you expect Denzel? Why don't you expect actors to always act like their roles?
Sometimes they do.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't, Sammy. Don't lie. Don't lie. The lens people.
How do you think the Joker do, God, Dave?
That's one isolated. That's one isolated actor. When you see Denzel Washington, when you see Mike Epps, you don't expect them to be Day-Day all the time. When you see Ice Cube, you don't expect them to be Craig all the time.
Mike Epps is a comedian.
Come on, bro. That's an actor, bro.
That's a comedian. That's a comedic thing. He's there to just make people laugh.
Bro, you don't expect actors to be the same character all the time. Let's be honest.
They do it. They do it, Dave. Yes, they do. They do it.
No, they don't.
Dog, I will send
you. Will Smith is himself. You're naming Will Smith. Will Smith is himself in most of his.
That's one of the greatest actors of all time. Why would I not Wayne Will Smith?
I agree. I agree. You bringing up Will Smith kind of proves my point.
No, it doesn't, because Will Smith.
Hold on. Will Smith has played countless. Will Smith has played countless characters in I Am Legend, countless movies. Is he acting like those characters in his interviews, or is he being Will Smith in most of his interviews?
Will Smith has also.
Can you answer my question, bro? So we could move the conversation forward. It's Will. I'm specifically right.
No, he's not.
So why you expect that from wrestlers?
He's not going to do it with every role, but he has came out in an interview, and I will send it to you, and said he's had to take the character home multiple fucking times. Multiple times.
That's not the same. See, this is...
He was playing Hancock. He's had to play the character 24/7 out of his day. He said this. He said this, dog. He said this. And some of the greatest people do it.
Can I talk now?
It's called the method.
Can I talk now? You're right. It's called method acting. But that's not what you. That's not what you said, Sammy. You be saying one thing, and then when I poke holes in it, you twist it. Bro, it's my turn now. It's my turn now. It's my turn now. You just said your original thought was you originally said wrestlers, if they ever get an interview, if they're ever in front of a camera outside of wrestling, they have to be who they are on TV all the time. It doesn't matter. What you just described with Will Smith, it's a fact. Some actors have to, in order to really tap into the character's mindset, they have to method and really immerse themselves for a long stretch. But that's not the same thing as every single appearance in their life, they gotta pretend to be a boogeyman or a monster or a tribal chief. That's not the same thing, Sammy. Yeah, I know you want to. You have to. I know you always have to. Hold on, bro. I'll let you cook.
Why is it not?
Those are two different. I literally just described them. There's a difference between you have to master this role. So while mastering it, you really got to tap in and be a method actor and be on point versus the rest of my damn whole career. Every public appearance, I got to turn into somebody else. I know you always got to be right, but that's not the same thing, bro. It's really not, bro.
How's it not?
Dave,
let me ask you. Okay, Dave.
He asks me a question and I can't defend myself. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Hijack it. Hijack the show. I can't even defend myself, bro.
I'm trying to make clarity so that we can.
You asked me a question, though. Can I answer it?
I said, why is it not? But I had a follow up. But go ahead.
The reason why it's not the same thing is because those are typically. And of course, there's exceptions to every rule. Typically, in method acting, the actor's in character 24/7 until he masters it for the movie. And then generally speaking, when the movie's done, and they're getting interviews, they're answering as themselves, the actor, generally speaking. And then it's over. But you're asking wrestlers, no matter how length of their career, anytime they step out, you want them to and be their persona like that. All I'm saying is that you want. I get why you want them to be that way. I'm not criticizing you because you want that. That is the tradition of professional wrestling. I'm not criticizing that you prefer that. That's your preference. That's cool. What I'm criticizing is I know whether they did it or not, it wouldn't make you like anybody or anymore. That's all I'm saying. And what I'm saying, it's different. It's different. It's different because actors, when they're done with their movie, they go back to being themselves. Wrestlers are expected to always be that way. That is different. That's all I'm saying.
Dave, you literally just proved my point, though. When you're a wrestler, the movie's never fucking done. Your job's never done.
No, that's not it.
How's it no? How is it no? What are you talking about, Dave? Once you're a wrestler and you develop that A+ 5-star character, we expect to see you like that all the time. Your movie and your job is never done. Will Smith, when he masters that Hancock role, after those 2 years, he don't gotta be Hancock ever fucking again. He's not paid to be that ever.
I agree with that. That's what I just said.
So why am I paying you? So why? Okay, but David, why am I your boss? I'm paying you to be like this all the time, and you're not. What part does that make sense?
Tell me and tell me.
I'm paying you to be this way every time I see you. Not
right in the context of professional wrestling. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So why is it that you're gonna do it like this, and then a few hours after that Raw, after that 11 hour, okay, now I could be this happy-go-lucky motherfucker on camera doing something completely different? Does that make any sense? Come on, Dave.
It makes a lot of sense.
No, it does not.
It makes a lot of sense.
Not. This is why that Undertaker era is always going to be the golden era, and this era is always going to get criticized. This is why. Because Undertaker never turned that switch.
Yeah.
He realized, dog, this dude is paying me to be the Undertaker. So whatever I do, I'm the Undertaker.
But the funny part is
my job isn't done.
The funny part,
my body breaks for me.
The funny part is that, like I said, I don't blame you that that's your preference. I really don't. That is the traditional way. But let's keep it a buck. Undertaker is one of one. Everybody else has sat and I know you're gonna.
They all did it at that time.
Again, I can't even finish my point. I could pull up hundreds of interviews from the heart of the Attitude Era with prime Chris Jericho sitting on radio shows telling you we're not really hurting each other, but yes, we get real injuries. Edge telling people it's not real life, but yes, it's a real grind. Why do you have a problem with that? Do you have a problem with this?
David, how? Okay, David, now let me ask you this.
Answer it, please. This has been happening, Sammy. This isn't new. That's all I'm trying to say. Literally in the heart of the Attitude Era, they're telling people that. Undertaker's the only one who protected it from start to finish. Nobody else did. Yes, he is.
No, he's not. Because Macho Man did it. Hulk Hogan did it.
Hulk Hogan did not
all those motherfuckers.
I promise you, Hulk Hogan didn't.
Yes, he fucking did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Hogan was doing it until his back.
No, he didn't. I promise you, Hulk Hogan didn't do it.
He was doing the same thing. Yes, he was. He was red and yellow everywhere he went.
So why are you okay with Chris Jericho and Edge? Why are you okay with Chris Jericho and Edge violating Kate? It ain't about. It's not about class. It's not about class. It's about.
Y'all broke the code.
It's not about class.
Yes, it is about class.
No, it's not about class. It's about this whole topic was about protecting character and protecting the business. Bro, as I said, it's been exposed.
But David, those dudes you named didn't protect it enough for us to consider them in the elite of the elite, in the greatest of great.
It isn't about, bro. But I don't care. But what are you talking about? I don't care who's elite right now. I'm talking strictly about when Your problem with WWE Unreal that's coming up on Netflix is that it's too much behind the curtain. The curtain's been being
Yes.
pulled by all these dudes for years, bro. Okay, don't
I
take me
get it.
literally. Don't take me literally. I know Undertaker protected it. I know there's certain people that went harder. But generally speaking, the biggest stars have done interviews telling people, like, yo, we're characters. It's stories. We're not doing this. They've done this for decades, bro. Are they doubling it down now for content? Yes. But they've been doing this, bro. They've been doing
Dave,
it.
yes or no?
And you don't give a
Yes or
shit
no?
because your favorite wrestlers and your people you respect were doing it, so they get passes as always. That's it.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yes, they
No,
do,
no, they don't.
bro.
Because when have I ever said Edge and Chris Jericho are my top favorites of
I didn't
wrestling?
say that you said that, but I
When have
know
I
you.
ever done?
I didn't say that you said that, but I know you. I know you respect the era they come from. That's all I'm saying. That's it. I didn't say
Absolutely,
that
I
you
do.
said that.
But Dave, now Dave, let's get to
Even
the root.
Triple H has
Was
done
it
interviews
detrimental
like
to the
that.
business? Okay, Dave, was it detrimental to the business, or did the business keep getting better? Let's get to the nitty and gritty. Every time that they kept breaking the code, did things go down or up?
Well, considering that doesn't
Let's
make
keep
sense.
it real.
I'm gonna
Let's
answer.
keep
I'm
it
gonna
real.
answer your question. Considering the fact that people in the Attitude Era were having these interviews, and the Attitude Era still was what it was. It didn't do nothing. It didn't take nothing away from the business. It didn't do nothing.
Come on, Dave. Come on,
Because
Dave.
if it did, we
Come on,
would not.
Dave.
They
They
would have
did
never.
not peel it off.
Oh, if it did, we would have never had a ruthless aggression era. Never had anything after that. We would have never had nothing.
Right. The ruthless aggression was more steps back from the golden ages.
It was
They just kept going
it
down
was
and down and
very
down. Every
very
time they broke the code,
successful.
the 80s, listen, the 80s, they considered it that time because no one was doing that. Everybody thought there was an illusion.
You're right, because there was no internet.
90s.
There was no internet. There was
That's what
no
I'm
there was
saying.
no
In the
shows.
90s,
It was easy.
right.
It was easy to do it then. Yeah.
Exactly. But if you keep going down the timeline, the more and more they protected it, the more and more things went up. The more and more they loosened it, the more and more we got these crappy errors in between. It's a fact. It's literally a fact. You could look at the timeline of WWE. This is how things went. I'm not making this up. I'm not making it up. Ruthless aggression, they still tried, David. Most wrestlers were still trying. Let's not forget this. They were still trying.
That's not my argument. My argument. That's not even my argument, bro.
It got worse and worse and worse.
I don't think so.
Things just kept getting
I just don't think so. While I agree, while I agree with you, here's what I definitely agree with you on. Obviously, the 80s, it was the most well protected, but of course it was. There was less technology, and yes, I agree with you. Like I said, I don't fault that this is your preference. This was what wrestling was built on, but to just shoot them for making this docuseries, like, this hasn't been being done for decades by a lot of people. A lot of people. Is just crazy to me. That's my definition of the. I just think, if you're gonna shoot The Rock, Triple H for making this docuseries, why not we shoot everybody in history that have been doing these interviews and telling us these things from the get-go? That's all I'm saying.
I agree with that. I said you should shoot them. But Dave, I agree with that. I said you should
outside of this conversation, we never shoot those other people. That's all
Dave,
I'm saying,
I just
bro.
said this is why the errors kept getting worse. That's me shooting them.
It definitely,
y'all kept making shit worse.
It definitely lessens a mystique. I'll say that, yeah. But I don't think it makes the. I don't think it makes
the mystique.
It lessens the mystique for sure. But I don't think. I think when you got good stories and characters, that will carry you through everything. Is that not fair? It definitely lessens the mystique.
No, I don't think so.
Good stories and characters don't trump everything.
Not on all storylines.
That doesn't make sense.
Not on all storylines. It could do it. It could do it for the top upper
I think
echelon,
I think
but it's not
most
gonna
people
do it for everybody.
I think most people that watch wrestling, no matter what type of fan you are, whether you follow it regularly or not, give them stories that they could fuck with, give them characters that they could have fun cheering or booing. They're gonna have fun. I don't know why we're saying just the lack of mystique alone. Yeah, it has lesser mystique, but I still think people are looking for characters to root for and boo at the end of the day, and they get that overall. Like I don't know what
Of
the
course,
like I don't get that. That's unfair to
it's gonna
say.
work for the. It's not unfair. It's gonna work for the top upper echelon. The people who already mastered the businesses, everything is always gonna work for them. But what about everybody else, dog? What about
What about
everybody else?
everybody else?
What about everybody else on the roster who's still trying to find the character, who's
What do
still
you
trying to
mean?
create a name, who's still trying
And
to
that's
come up
another thing.
with it?
That's another thing. Most of the time, the
They
the
can't even do
the
it because guess what? They're gonna be on that show telling the secret.
but historically, but that's the funny thing is historically, the mid card and tag teams aren't the ones in interviews exposing the business. To tell you the truth, it's usually main event guys. So why are you bringing up the rest of the roster?
Because I'm talking about the show. The show's gonna show the roster. It's not gonna show just the top guys. It's gonna show the
No,
roster.
you're right about that. But most of the time, I would argue this isn't like a complete fact. But most of the time, the historically when the business was more protected, it was the main event guys doing the best at protecting it, like historically. So what did the mid carders
That's
really got
true.
to do with it?
That's true.
That's all I'm
Because they got
saying.
to get there, David. These guys in the middle of the tier
But
are eventually
we all know not every mid carder is destined to get there. Only a little handful is.
a lot of them do, Dave. That's all I'm saying. We don't know which ones will and we don't know which ones won't. But
That's
a lot of
fair.
them usually start from tag team, you know, in the middle, then they get to the top. So now you got this show showing all the secrets. What about me? That's all I'm saying. What about me? If I'm a young dude trying to come up, obviously this shit's not gonna affect Roman or Rock or Cody or Seth. Those dudes are tailor made. They're already made they're set in stone. But what about the rest of us trying to still create that aura and still create that feel? Now it fuck you to us?
Nah, not necessarily.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
So there's
come
not
on,
so there's no aspect
it
of
technically is.
so you don't see both sides. I see your side of it. I really do. I really do. I know you probably think I don't, but I see your side of it. But so there's no part of you that sees the side of being in the lens of someone who doesn't follow wrestling and be like, oh shit, they're not just pretending to be hurt. They really do get hurt, or they oh shit, like it takes a lot of intelligence to craft a storyline like how The Rock and Triple H are. You don't think you don't see the lens of them learning and getting the education factor of the business.
No, Dave.
That's important.
I started that off. No, I started that off saying that if you're somebody who's not day to day with wrestling in the first place, this is good because now you have something to watch that's wrestling related. It's money. You see what I'm saying? It's money there. But what I'm saying is now let's come up with a new term for this shit. Let's throw wrestling in the trash and let's come up with a whole new term for this. Let's make it something new.
But here, and
because this is something
that's where my main pushback comes. My main pushback doesn't come that it's your preference. My main pushback is you should have been saying that when Chris Jericho and them were talking like that all those years. You should have been saying call it something else then. I think I lost you for a sec. I lost you for a second. You froze for a second. You froze for a second. Say that again.
No. Finish what you were saying because you said I should have been saying that when.
No, I sorry. I think we froze for a second. I said my main pushback isn't that this is your preference to protect the business. My main pushback is you should have felt like we got to call it something other than pro wrestling when we saw how there was DVDs made of how wrestling's done with wrestlers being interviewed. There was back in the Attitude Era, edging them when they have those interviews, telling them that it's a grind, but it's not real conflict. We should have been saying that to them then. That's all I'm saying. It's not fair. It's not fair, bro. It's just not fair. These
Dave,
wrestlers have been doing this for a long time.
but Dave, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you go back to that time, yeah, there was a sprinkle of guys who are willing to actually go and give people that back door. But it wasn't most of the roster. This is going to be a whole roster thing, Dave, where it's weekly series. Every single week, there's different elements of people telling you
It's
what
only
the hell is
it's
going on.
nah. It's only gonna be a five.
It's gonna be a whole
It's only
entire
gonna be
roster
like a five
doing this.
episode series, bro. They didn't say it would be
I
continued
know, but
on
they're gonna keep
roster.
going. They did season 1, season 2, season
We don't know
3. They're
that
gonna keep
yet.
going. But what's the point of putting out a show to not make money and keep it going? What's the point?
I'm just saying we don't know if they will. The plan is to keep it going.
You really
We
think
don't
this is
know.
gonna be a one season series?
That happens. It happens a lot these days.
I mean, it does
especially these
happen,
days.
but David, that happens when shows don't make money. Let's keep it real. If this makes money, Triple H is gonna keep going with this. You'd be stupid not to.
I just don't think that that's completely fair. But I get the preference, but to say don't call it professional wrestling. Like they're not still grinding like wrestlers, training like wrestlers, well going hard at wrestlers. I still think that
It's still a grind.
that's still the art of it is still a grind, whether people are educated
Yes,
or
it's
not. To
yes,
me,
it's still a grind.
that's what makes it professional wrestling. The fact that even though you know it's predetermined and you know that it's a show, dog, not anybody could just walk up and perform like these people. Not everybody could just do what they do with their bodies. Not everybody could be athletes like this. To me, that's
But
where
of
my
course not.
respect comes from.
But Dave, just because I'm saying to change the term, that doesn't mean we gotta disrespect them and call it something disrespectful. We don't have to do that. We can come up with a different, brand new term that lets us know, okay, we are officially in another era where we're just gonna tell you what's going on. Even though you like it, we're gonna sit there and tell you what's going on. We don't gotta disrespect them and call them pansies or something. We don't gotta do that. It's still hard work. You still gotta be on that road 300 something days. You know what I'm saying? So it's still the same type of similarities. I just don't want to call it pro wrestling no more. Because the pro wrestling I know was where you had the mystery. Their goal was to create the mystery for you.
I mean,
that was their goal.
That was a big part of it, but you talking like that was the one and only part that made pro wrestling pro wrestling. It was a huge part of it, but it wasn't the only part of it.
Yeah. I'm just saying they took it serious then. That was their goal. They wanted to leave you thinking, yo, are these dudes really bleeding?
And
Is
it
that
was,
really blood
and
coming
in
all up on this
fairness,
shit?
you're right. And in fairness, because it was easier to when things were older. We got camera phone. We got camera phones. We got camera phones. We got the internet. We got WW's using high definition cameras where we could spot everything. Like it's just different. That's all I'm saying. Like
I give you that.
This
Yes,
is just it's almost like it had to because technology got smarter. That's kind of part of it. Like you had to roll with the punches. Like, and to me, this is the best way to roll with the punches. Like,
but Dave, you want to know why I got to push back on a little bit of that though? Because when there's been several things that WWE has found a good way to keep under wraps. Has there not?
Yeah. Like
over the last few years, people's appearances, people making,
like I said, WWE.
Have their ways.
I agree. I said
Like they don't have their
WW.
ways.
I said WW is very smarter than we give them credit for. They're not going to show us things they don't really want us to. I agree with that.
So
They're
that's what
really
I'm saying.
not.
They're doing this intentionally.
I,
That's
I
my real
I
beef. They're
agree.
doing this
They're doing
intentionally.
it for content purposes, bro. I agree with
So
that.
we can't sit.
But
And that's why I'm.
all I'm saying is, I
So
feel
why
you.
can't we call it something else?
I feel you as a traditionalist, your preference. But all I'm saying is, let's watch the docuseries. Let's see how it plays out and gets pieced together. Let's see how far they show us and how far they don't, and then let's at
Yes.
least let's evaluate. But to say just because of this, when so much more has been said over the years by so many people, I just don't think it's fair. That's all I gotta say.
Dave again, I'm with that. And if they don't take it to the extent that I'm, because I'm gonna watch it regardless. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
But if they don't take it to the extent that I feel like they're about to take it to, I will come on here and apologize. You know, I'll come on here and apologize. But
facts.
my thing is, my thing is, I don't see why we can't create a different term for it if they are willing to just take the whole covers off and be like, yo, this scene where I was supposed to act like I was concussed, I wasn't really concussed here. I was really good, and I just needed this back.
I
If they
get
do
what
something
I
like
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I mean, we always had the option to call it sports entertainment. I call it sports entertainment, but I also call it wrestling. Sports entertainment is what it is. I mean,
I'm saying,
it's sports based
let's
entertainment.
go even different from that.
Nah, and that I feel is disrespecting the business. But it's sports entertainment at the end of the day.
It's
There's
still a
nothing
sport.
more. There's nothing more you
It's
could
still a
call
sport.
it.
No, I'm still gonna consider it a sport. I'm still gonna consider it a sport. But I'm saying let's create some new different thing. Let's make it a whole different, like, even using the World Wrestling Entertainment. It bothers me now
Yo, wow.
because of the show. It bothers me. I'm not wowing. It
Wild
bothers
about
me now.
it.
Even calling it WWE. I'm saying, like, that kind of hurts my heart a little bit, Dave.
So you say
It hurts me.
the rap game is the worst it is. We can't call it rap no more.
Yes, listen, it's pop music. It's pop music. I consider it pop music now.
we can't call it rap. We
I
can't
don't
call
even give
nothing.
it rap.
Can we call the NBA the
I don't
NBA?
consider it rap.
We see them telling stories on how they plan teams
Dave,
together. It is the same
not,
thing, bro. It's
that's
the
not
same thing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not the same thing.
Hold on.
Because
Can
the
I
NBA
explain
and
how?
the
Can I explain how?
they're doing.
Hold on. Can I
They won.
explain? Can I explain how it is the same thing to a certain extent? We want to believe, even though we know they're not gonna shoot each other or fight each other. We want to believe when Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City, him and Westbrook really didn't like each other. But when you have them sit on a podcast or dap each other up, it takes the mystique of rivalry. We see all these guys who were supposed to be rivals that didn't want to team up now talking. It does diminish rivalries a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I still can have fun. I still can have fun with watching it.
But Dave, the reason why you can't condemn the NBA for that is because that's been a day one thing.
Has it?
You know what I'm saying? Bill Russell and Will. Yes, Bill Russell
Kobe
and Will
Bryant would
had a
not
heated
sit
rivalry on the
Kobe
court
Bryant
together.
would not be sitting. Kobe Bryant in his time would not sit on a panel with Tim Duncan and Dirk and on a podcast if podcasting was popular then and be talking during the season and dapping up. He wouldn't at that time.
That's Kobe. Because Kobe had a Jordan type of mindset where he was going to hold grudges against people. But Dave, go back to the 60s and 50s, dog. Will and Bill had a heated rivalry with each other. They did press conferences with each other. They did commercials with each other.
Yeah.
That's day one. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like that's day one. NFL and NBA been letting you know
But
since
it's
day
still
one.
it was
Wrestling
still
hasn't been
it
letting
was
you know since day one.
I see what you're saying, but it was still encouraged and even in the NBA context to make those rivalries really seem like competitive, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely,
And now they don't even put
absolutely.
juice into rivalries. It's real
They
rivalry
don't.
we've had between
And
players and
Dave,
teams.
okay, so now Dave, I'm glad you're saying this. Now let's even do this with the NBA. Has the NBA quality not gone down to you?
To some degree, it has. But in another weird way, we got to give it to them. We have had new champions for the past 7 years. I like that unpredictability factor. Do you? Don't you?
I gave them credit
I
for
don't. I
for
don't. You like
finals.
one team winning every year? I like the
No,
unpredictability
not
of
me,
that.
not me.
We
But
got to
Dave,
give them
you
that.
know what?
The talent is more spread out now. We got to give them that. It's
But
more competitive.
Dave, you know what I do like? You know what I do like? I used to like when I used to be able to circle a date on a calendar and be like, oh shit, you know what? Tim Duncan and Garnett, they going at it this day.
I
I
agree.
gotta be home and watch that shit.
Yeah, I agree.
I gotta be home for that. Because I know they about to cut each other's throat.
Yeah, I
Now
agree
I
too.
can't even do that. I can't do that with this stuff. That's what I'm saying. Don't even call it WWE no more. Make a new logo. Make a new name.
But how much of that? But
Because
what
that's
I agree with what you just said about the Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan comparison. I really do. But how much of that? That's another fact. How much of a fact is you sometimes can't do that as much because you're more of an adult and you're just busier human being sometimes when there's games. That happens a
not
lot too.
not well,
So,
not as
so
much
you
for me.
never
I don't
get
know.
busy at times when you prefer to be watching a game. Maybe you don't catch the first half. At least it happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. But Dave, you what I also do is I'll make sure that I catch the full thing, even if I miss it,
Okay.
because I know what was going on. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo, this is special to me. I know I'm not gonna see this as much, so I'm gonna circle this up. Make sure even if I gotta record it or something like that, I'm gonna catch it. You know what I'm saying? So it's the people gotta bring us this allure, David. If they're not bringing us this type of allure, we gotta we gotta redefine it. That's all I'm saying. Let's just redefine it. We don't gotta disrespect nobody because it's still an art craft. It's still an art
I
craft.
genuinely think like whatever you're trying to do to wrestling, like sports entertainment literally describes it. It's entertainment that is sports based. It's entertainment though. Like
We at least take the
that's
wrestling part out.
entertainment. Wow, but you can't
Can we
because
at least take the
we
wrestling part
can't
out?
do that because they're still wrestling to tell their stories, Sammy. Like they're still telling these stories through wrestling technique and wrestling training. You can't do that. But I get what you mean about them getting away from tradition, though. I do get it. I get it. But I see I see the business reason behind it. I really do.
You see,
And in the world,
Bret Hart.
the direction of the world kind of pushes them in this direction. That's all I'm saying. You acting like they just woke up one day and was like, let's just purposely do this to screw over our hardcore fans. The world kind of pushes them in this direction. Like that's all I'm saying. But man, this was a great conversation, man. I'm glad we had it, man. I can't wait to put this out there. Can't wait
Look,
to hear what the audience. This was great.
I just, I just want to end with this because I already know we're over, right? A Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels type of situation. We could never see that again. Are you cool with that?
Where they really didn't like each other. Is
Yeah,
that
and
what
we're
you're referring to?
speculating like, yo, is it? Yeah, like we're speculating like, yo, is it real beef or are they working us? Is it? Is
We can't
these
we
dudes
can't
really not?
we can't say never. We really can't say never.
How, David? If this show continues, how?
We can't say never. We can't do that, bro. Because
If the show continues, how?
the only reason I say never, they might not be the status of Brett and Sean, but I think every now and again it happens. Right, the wrestlers got to work together, but might not really like each other. It might happen one of these days. Actually, I mean, to a small extent, it's not Brett and Sean level. I'm not gonna even try to say it is because I don't think they hated each other like Brett and Sean. But Drew McIntyre and Punk, Drew says he really didn't like Punk in the Ruthless Aggression era. Punk was trying to say he's the locker room leader and bully him. They brought that on screen pretty effectively, despite where we're at. That's all I'm saying, bro.
He did.
I think
He
when
did.
all else fail, I think true wrestling fans will, for even the ones that don't prefer the curtain to be pulled back too much, if you execute well, they'll forgive it. That's if the characters are strong enough and you execute well, they'll forgive it. Like,
but here's the thing, Dave. I'm talking about moving forward. If this show continues, don't you see how the show might be able to spoil that for us?
Depends what they show us.
Because with the whole Drew and McIntyre situation, that speculation could have still been in the air because there was nothing going on at that time. You see what I'm saying? If Drew didn't want to put that information out there, we could have still been speculating. Now with this show, they might do a situation where they got Drew on one side, they got Punk on another side, and now they're telling how they don't really rock with each other, even though the shit is going on in our face. That's what I'm saying. The show might be able to spoil things like that for us.
It might, but I'm trusting them to know what to do and what not to do. But I think Drew and Punk are a good example of keeping that.
That's a great example.
That animosity in the modern day. But
I give you that. That was a great example. That was a hell of a feud.
But I can't wait to put this out. I think this was. I'm glad we covered this. I think both sides make some good points, but hey, I think this is where we're at, man. The content, WWE's never gonna pass up content at this point. But y'all let us know in the comments what y'all think. Subscribe at Wrestling with Things. Peace.